for the stylized type exercise, which is published, right? Everyone can get to it. Stylized type exercise. We're going to be experimenting with typefaces in order to create interesting and dynamic text effects. Your 3 success criteria: you need to be able to select a font and use the type tool to create point type and area type. You need to be able to use the appearance panel to stylize type in different ways, and you need to be able to create a shape and distort text to fit inside of it. So on your checklist, paper checklist or the digital checklist, there are 15 steps, and it walks you through what tools you're using and what panels you need to use. I'm just going to go through it in order. And as I go along, I'll talk a bit more about the panels. So we're going to start off in Adobe Illustrator with a new letter size document. So that's going to be print and letter. I'm just going to work with a regular portrait size. And we're going to save this as yourname_stylizedtype.ai. So file, save as yourname_stylizedtype.ai. From here, we're going to set up our workspace for typography. Mine is already set up that way, but you will go to Window, down to Workspace, and you will select Typography. And this is going to kind of shuffle some of your panels and menus around so that you only have to deal with the ones that have to do with typography. When you have the typography workspace open, the properties, layers, and libraries still stay here, but you'll have a selection of these other ones that are minimized. You can, and I'm going to, for this demonstration, open this second line of panels, which you can see has many, many tabs. We're pretty much only going to be in the character tab and appearance today. So up here, character, and then down here, appearance. So I'm just going to leave those open. So once again, Window, Workspace, Typography. If you mess up your workspace, you can go to Window, Workspace, and then reset Typography. All right, so we've got everything set up. Most of what we're going to be using is the character panel and the appearance panel. So we just want to make sure that we have access to those and that they are on the screen. So that's step 1 and 2. Step number 3, type your name at the top of the artboard as point type. So you're going to choose the type tool, and to create point type, you are just going to click one time. Just one time. Don't drag and draw a box. Don't make a text box. Just click one time. You should get the words lorem ipsum. That's your dummy text, as it is called. Then you just need to delete that and type your name, which I'm doing with one hand. You can change the font size, whatever you want to do. Not going to be grading you based on your font choices. That's it for step 3. For step 4, we're going to create area type. So this time we are going to click and drag. I'm going to create a large piece of area type so that you can see it more easily. And I'm actually going to go ahead and zoom in so we don't have the whole board here. So I'm going to choose my type tool like normal. I'm going to click and I'm going to drag to create a text box. And that is going to fill with lorem ipsum text. This is area type. So you have point type, which is just click once and you create one line of text, and then area type, where you click drag and create a text box that will fill with type. You can adjust the text box of your area type like so, and it will change how your type is laid out. So you just need to leave a box of lorem ipsum text. Don't care how much. And that's going to be it for step 4. So you're just basically leaving a nonsense paragraph there. Again, you can change the fonts, you can change the size, you can do all that good stuff, whatever you like. For step number 5, we're going to learn how to stylize our type just using the regular properties panel. So we're going to create a piece of point type. Type the word type, not yipe, but type. Yipe is pretty funny though. And I'm going to go ahead and make this much larger so that you can see it, but you do not have to work this large. Okay, there's my point type. I'm going to go over to my properties panel, and just like I would with any other kind of shape, I can apply a fill and a stroke. We want to change our fill to none, which will temporarily make our type invisible, and then change our stroke to black 2 point. And that is going to be the first way that we learn how to stylize type. Change the fill color, you can do gradients, you can do all kinds of things, and also change the strokes. So 2 point black stroke on the word type. All right. So that is our 3 steps that are using the regular type tool. What used to be called horizontal type is now just called type. We're going to look at the vertical type tool, which is nested under the horizontal, or excuse me, under the type tool. So we're going to click and hold and go to vertical type tool. And as you can probably imagine, it's going to type vertically instead of horizontally. Click once to create lorem ipsum text. This time I am going to have to make this smaller. And then replace the lorem ipsum with your first and last name. I'm actually going to do mine in all caps so it's easier to see. Shout out to my ability typing with one hand. So that's your vertical. Okay. The next one is a little tricky. We're going to need to start by drawing a path. You can use the pen tool, the curvature tool, the pencil tool, or the brush tool. It does not really matter which you opt for. I think I'm going to use the pencil tool for mine. You are going to draw a path, a wavy line to create a path. So I'm going to go to pencil tool and I'm going to go wee, just like that. My pencil tool does not have any fill or stroke on it right now. I'll put a stroke on it so you can see it. It's not going to matter too much because we're not going to see it when we're done. So again, you can use the pen tool, curvature tool, or pencil tool to create your path. Just some kind of wavy line. Once again, I'm making mine really big so we can see it. I'll make the stroke thicker too. You just have to turn in a work in progress by the end of class. All right, so now we're going to switch from the vertical type tool to the type along a path tool. So long press on the type tool or vertical tool, type along a path tool. You're going to position your cursor somewhere over the line. makes the most sense to position it over the beginning of the line, but you can really put it wherever you want. And it should, rather than having a box around it indicating you are creating a text box, it should have a cursor that has a dotted squiggly line to let you know that you are going to be typing along a path instead of typing in empty space. When you click, it should get rid of any strokes and fills on your path and magically turn it into an invisible baseline for your type to sit on. However you have drawn your wave or squiggle, the type will follow that path, and that is how we type along a path. You can leave the lorem ipsum text, you can put your name, you can write a sentence, whatever you want to do. If you don't like the way that the path turned out, you can go to your direct selection tool and edit the path just like you would any other line. It will move your text with it. So I can drag these anchor points around, move them up and down, and adjust that path. If I double click with my text tool, I can go in and change my font and all that good stuff. Make it smaller, make it bigger. I don't know, make it not Myriad Pro. Doesn't matter. It won't actually be there. Like if you take your cursor away, like all of this is invisible, so you won't see it. All right. So before we get into the last few things on the back, I want to take a look at the appearance panel. So I'm going to zoom in on it here, up on the screen. There we go. And the appearance panel is kind of like the properties panel in that you can change the properties of your object, but it's a little bit more advanced because you can actually add new appearance effects, strokes, things like that, and then layer them so you can control exactly where different parts of your effects are. So you can see that you can add a stroke and a fill. So let's say you already put a stroke on your word, but you want to put another stroke on it. You can just add another stroke to it using the appearance panel. To add special effects, there is a button down here. It says FX, which is short for effects, or rather representational of effects. And this is going to open a big old menu with lots of options in it. So, appearance panel. Right now I don't have anything selected, so it says no selection. Once I have something selected, it will tell me I have type selected, there are characters selected, and right now the only thing that's affected is the opacity, which is set to default. So basically this appearance panel is telling me appearance normal. Nothing has been changed. Okay, so flipping to the back, our last few things. We are going to create a line of type. You can, once again, just leave the word lorem ipsum, Lord words. We are going to apply the warp FX. So with the type selected, we're going to go to FX, find warp. I don't care which warp effect you apply to it. Apply a warp effect to it. I'm going to do squeeze. There's going to be options here, so you can decide, you know, what you want it to look like, all the different things. And now if I look over at my appearance panel, you can see that I have an FX here for warp squeeze that is sitting at the top of my appearance layer stack, meaning that it is the highest point, like the highest ranking thing. If you want to change the settings, you just need to double click on the words warp squeeze and you can go in and change those. All right, the rest of these are going to be much the same. We're just choosing different effects. So once again, create a line of point type. This time we're going to go to FX. We're going to go to stylize. Oops, sorry. You need to have it selected. We're going to go to FX. We're going to have it go to stylize and we're going to choose drop shadow. Once again, I don't care what kind of settings you have for this, as long as I can see that there's a drop shadow. The defaults are fine. Drop shadow. Make another line of point type. Make sure it's selected. And we're going to choose stylize and feather.
Do you have one of those Chromebook chargers? It's my phone. It's a Chromebook charger.
Nope, sorry. It disappeared. Is my feather too high? Oh, my feather's too high. Got it. Got it. Got it. So I'm going to put this down to like 0.2 or something. 0.5. 0.5. It's because the font that I've chosen is very thin. If I chose something thicker, it would be a little easier to tell that it's feathered. So put that at 1. Now you can see the feather. All right, for this last effect, I'm going to create another line of point type. And I'm going to choose distort and transform. And I'm going to choose free transform. I keep forgetting. This needs to be selected as an object, not selected as text. Free distort. Free distort's going to give you this little window that has a preview of your text and a box around it that you can drag into different angles. This is how you can kind of cheat perspective. I guess it's not really cheating, but you can sort of cheat perspective on your type. All right, for this last one, we are going to need to start by creating a line of type in a font that is something bold, thick, and blocky. So it needs to be something in a heavy font or bold font or black font. I'm going to use Archivo Black Regular. That's a nice bold blocky font. And I'm just going to leave Lorem Ipsum on there because it doesn't really matter. Now, I'm going to create, using the ellipse tool, a circle or oval, ellipse, whatever, on top of the text. Doesn't matter what color it is or anything like that. I'm just going to leave it just like that. It needs to be on top of your text, so make sure that it is above. Next, I'm going to select both the text and the ellipse by either dragging a selection box around both of them or holding Shift and selecting both one at a time. And I'm going to go up to the Object menu, which we haven't used too much, and down to Envelope Distort and Make with Top Object. And what that should do is it should round out your text, basically fill the shape with your text as much as possible. So, oh, I worked very small. That is probably why everything was a little difficult to see. So you just need to make sure that all of these are visible on your paper somewhere. If you want to do fun, fancy things like I did where I played around with the layout and made all the text fit and changed fonts and stuff, you can. Okay, so at the bottom of the last page, you've got a checklist to make sure that you did everything. We did a simple type tool, point type. We did a type tool with no fill and 2-point stroke. We did a type tool for area type, vertical type. We did a warp. We did a drop shadow. We did a feather. We did a free distort. We did an envelope distort. My name is at the top of the paper, and all of the text needs to be on the artboard. So make sure that none of it is like hanging off the side, because I won't be able to see it. And then I'm going to make sure it's saved as my name stylizedtype.ai, and I'm going to turn it into Canvas. And that's it.